So let's start. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Happy New Year. Welcome to is it a new semester? Yes, the new year has, the new year has started with a high note. When we are expecting the exams in the next 1 week, I believe on the 16th, that week
18th,
starting
18th.
from, yeah, 18th. That week starting from 18th, yes. So we'll just start, and it will be a short demonstration. I'll be demonstrating on how to use the Google Classroom for purposes of examination. And just a highlight on what I'll be demonstrating. Sorry, I've forgotten to introduce myself. I'm Patricia Gitonga from the ICT office, and we are co-demonstrating with Paul Kamau, you know him, from School of Computing and Informatics. So I was saying the highlights for today will be how to create a Google account and how to configure that Google account. And when I say how to create a Google account, to get to the Google Classroom, you need a Google account. And that Google account, it's your student email account. And also how to configure that account so that you're not asking for me to reset your passwords 2 minutes before the examination. So that's very important that you ensure a day before that you're able to log in and your account is working. And the best way also to do it is to configure your account in such that you add your phone number and you also add your email to that Google account, so that in the event that you've forgotten, you just reset yourself. Because sometimes you note I have like maybe 20 requests to do the resets before the exam. So you are sure the person who I change for at the 20th minute will have gotten late for the examination. So it's very important. Another very important aspect when you're using Google Classroom, or rather all the Google applications, we'll be able to see them, is how to switch those accounts. That when you're doing the exam, how do you switch from that private Gmail account that you have so that you're able to see the exams? Because it's a major issue that we get, that I can't see my examination. Then you just note that the student had not switched the account. Very important. Then how to join that class. And also how to join the video meeting during the examination. How to navigate through the various units, because of course you will have several units, and how to get exams for all those several units. How to sit that exam, how to take that exam, and other than taking the exam, how to submit the exam, and eventually how to see the progress of the exam. You're able to see even when the exam is eventually graded. So how I will do it, I'll share my screen, and then we can do it one-on-one. I have mute you so that we can have a session without much of hiccup, but you're able to use the chat. And in case it's something that requires me to stop, then I can be notified by the co-host, which is who is Paul. So I'll just share my screen. Yes, and I believe that everyone can see. And really, all what you need to do is to go to your browser and start the browser. I'm starting from the basics. You start the browser and you just type www.google.com. Once you're here, you note that we have the array of applications at the Google apps, and there are many. And for purposes of exam, we'll heavily use the Drive. Of course, the Google Docs, which is the equivalent for Microsoft Word. We'll also heavily use the Google form, because majorly when there is a quiz, it's what which is utilized. And of course, we'll utilize the Google Classroom. So for you to log into the Google Classroom, I can actually first sign out from this account so that we start at that. So this is what you'll get once you type www.google.com. Then you click on sign in and choose the account that you want to sign in. Which is that account that you want to use to sign in? In most cases, it will be your private account and your student account. Note that the student account is your student email. So you need to have created, the student, have to log in. You need to have created your student account. And to create the student account, you create it through your student portal. Sorry for this. But it was necessary. It was necessary for purposes of demonstrating to you. Now I'm logged in as a student, and you note that I can change. If you're logged in as your private Gmail, switch your account. Switching your account is just clicking from this top right corner the account that you want to use. And in this case, we are using the student's account. And that is the account that you'll always be using. So we have switched accounts. You're able to see all the Google apps. Other than that, now, the other bit is how do you get to the Google Classroom? You can just type on your browser and type classroom.google.com, or easily you can just go from these from the Google apps. You can just go to the apps and click on Classroom. That way you're already in the Google Classroom. You'll see several classes or several icons. Like this is a unit, this other one is a unit, this is a unit, this is a unit, this is a unit, this is a unit. So I have many units because majorly I've been using them for demonstration. But you also note that even as you progress as a first year, you have units first semester, then second semester, you'll have other units. Going to second year, you have other units. So eventually you end up having many units, and these are the units. So for purposes of the exam, you should select that particular unit that you need to work on. First of all, very important is how do you join that class? There are two ways of joining a class, and one way of joining a class is when the teacher has invited you through an email, and once you get to your portal, to your classroom portal, as I am here, I can see that I have an invitation, and all what I have to do is to click on join. So I'm already invited to this class, which is Introduction to Computing, and I join. The other option, that is easy when the unit has very few students. That means that the lecturer is able to enter all your emails. But then when you're 100 of you, the lecturer will most likely just give you a code. And the code looks like this. And the lecturer will ask you to join the class. And this will be another unit that will be joining. So to exit from that unit, to go to the classes, you just click on the left hand top side as I've demonstrated, and you click on your classes to go to your classes portal. Then from there, you're able to join a class by using the code. So you just click on join class, and I'm able to input that code that I've copied, and I am able to join that class. So those are two ways of joining the class: through an invite from the lecturer, or through a code, or maybe the lecturer will just give you a link that will allow you to join the class. That is very important on how to join the class. So you have joined these two classes right now. There is this Introduction to Databases, Introduction to Computer, and there is this other class that had previously joined in the day, which is the data communication class. So once you have all these units, then how do you get the exam, or how does the interface look for all those units? And I'll take this Introduction to Computing. And you'll note that there is a stream, and you note that the stream is just a dashboard for all the communication in the class. When the lecturer has posted an assignment, when the lecturer has posted notes, when one of you has an announcement to make in your class or has commented on the stream, this is where you would comment if you're commenting, or has posted some content on the class stream, you'll see it on the stream. So it's a dashboard of which is happening in the class. Then of course there is people, and for people, these are your who are your lecturers, in case the lecturers are co-teaching, and all your classmates here. That is it about all people. So the core of the Google Classroom, it's the classwork. And under the classwork, the lecturer will post class materials, class notes, and assignments. And for this purpose, we have an examination, which is posted Introduction to Computers. And the due date is 12:30. So you have to do that exam between now, and 12:30. And to avoid late submission. Any late submission, the lecturer is notified on the late submission. So having done that, how do you take that examination? So I'll open this examination on Introduction to Computers, and we'll take it. But before we go to that, let's start with the content of the other examination. Like, let's switch to this unit, which will be the unit that we'll be starting with, SES 1, 2, 3. That is data communication. So in this unit, sorry for that. So in this unit, you can see, if I go to classwork, I have two assignments. One has a due date, the other one doesn't have a due date. So all what I do, I click on this data communication. This is now you're starting to do your examination. Once you click on that, you'll note that there are instructions for the examinations, and they range from no late submission will be allowed, that is the last one, and all the instructions that are there, and you'll get them during the examination. So after the examination now, there is the question itself. There is the assignment itself. So this assignment, you just click on it and you get the assignment. Note that you may get assignment which is multiple choice questions, which is a mixture of short answers and multiple choice question. This examination could even be having a diagram, then maybe after the diagram or after an illustration, then there are questions under that. So it can take any format. 2, there are also another question where the lecturer will give you maybe a Word document and you work on that Word document and we'll be demonstrating, or the lecturer will just give you the questions and tell you to work on them separately. Then you can resubmit. You can actually scan your working and submit, attach and submit your working. But for this case, this one is a multiple choice question. It's also a short answer question. So this one, you don't need to scan anything, and it's a format some of the lecturers will use. So you just take the questions normally, like now this one is a standard set of rules that determines how computers communicate with each other across networks. So you choose what you think the right answer is. Then we have another question. The ground station in VSAT communication is called. So you tick the answer that you believe it's there is the right answer. Dash is a standard set of rules that determines how computers communicate with each other. This one you should be very, very careful, even with the spelling. You mistake the spelling, you may miss the question, because when we are setting the answers, you set with the right spelling, and wrong spelling may mean less marks. So then there are other questions that you can be asked to choose maybe 2 answers or 3 answers, or the answers you think are correct, like which layer 4 protocol or protocols are used for a telecom communication. You can choose what you think is the right answer. You can choose 3, you can choose 4, you can choose 2. So you really need to be sure of what you're doing. Then after that, you've submitted your exam, and as you note, as you did I've chosen the answers for that exam, and you've done with the exam. That exam is done. Note that it can be page 1 of 10, page 1 of 20, but because this is a demonstration, we just have 4 questions. So it's just page 1. And you're able to see this line, this page 1 of 1 usually shows you up to where, like how many pages or what percentage of the exam have you done at a particular time, so that you're able to monitor yourself on time during the examination. So right now, all what I do is I submit the exam, and you get a notification that your exam has been submitted. And you're done with that examination, and nothing is required from you. You're done with the examination for SES 123. After submission now, the lecturer has your examination and can mark the examination. Then the other question format, I'll demonstrate using a different unit so that you get used to changing the unit. So this unit that I want, it's this introduction to computers. There is this, I can view all actually. You can always use that view all button to see all the work that is padded. So that was just a demonstration on what is view all button, that you're able to see the work that is assigned. You're able to see any work that is already done under that particular unit. So, but mostly just go through classwork. You're able to see the exam that is due or the assignment that is due. So this is the you open, and as usual, you get the instructions. Then from there, you open the examination. Here on the instruction, you'll get instructions of open the document provided and work in the document, or you'll also get the instructions, maybe open the document to get the questions and show your workings on your questions on different documents. So all what you have to do after you've read well the instructions is open the assignment. And in this case, this is the assignment that I have. And you can see the assignment is, there is the first question, there is the second question, there is the third question, fourth question, and then the lecturer has told you to show all your workings. So in this case, you note that there is a question that you're even required to sketch a diagram to show the components of a computer system. So there are those who are very good at sketching on the computer. There is also the person who would also want to use a pen to sketch on paper. Whichever way you choose, and whichever way which is most convenient, because you remember this is an exam, you're also pressed for time. Then after you sketch, you can scan and attach. And I'll be showing you how to attach a document. And then which one of the following is not a high-level programming language? You can answer it on the same paper. And there is also a question on discuss the importance of the software industry to the Kenyan economy. You can answer on the same paper, and you can also have a calculation question or a demonstration questions. All these you can demonstrate on a paper, scan and attach. And that being it, I'll go back to the class. Note that you can always go back to the class. And this was the introduction to computing. We were on this assignment. Before you submit that assignment is always there. So I have these assignments that I was doing. So after you're done with the assignment, you can turn in the assignment. Note that some lecturers will allow you to will allow editing on the question paper, and that will be clear on the instructions that if there are questions that you can answer on the question paper, you can answer on the question paper. Otherwise, others will instruct you to create another document and answer the questions. And for my case, I would like to create another document to answer maybe the first question. So I just come to add a document, and it's a Word document where now I'm able to answer the questions. So this is my Word document. And from there, I can actually pick the questions that I want to answer. Maybe the first question, I want this question. It's the importance of the software industry to the economy. And I can also have, there is also the illustration that I'll assume that I have done and attach. So I'll be attaching maybe from my drive. I'm assuming that I've done the question, I have scanned, and now I'm picking the, I'm attaching what I have already scanned. And in that case, I can take any document. Maybe I take this one. That was my illustration. Sorry, I attached a file that I didn't own, so maybe I can just attach from my computer. Any document from the computer that you have, or you navigate to where you have done the work. And I'm able to pick any other document. Sorry for this. Yeah, that's the one that I have picked, and then we continue. Most of those documents, it's picking from my drive on the other email. I'm sorry for that. So you're able to attach the documents, and I have to make sure that I add a document so that I'm able to attach. So that scanned document, I'm able to attach those documents. Once you're sure that you've done the right thing, you go through your documents. There is this document, there is that document, there is the other document, and you confirm that examination. Then what you should do then is to go back to the question and turn in your work. Note that you can have a comment for the teacher, any comment that you'd like the teacher to see, and it's usually, and this is just these are private comment for the lecturer. It means that it's only the lecturer who can see this particular comment. It depends on whatever you want to comment. Or there is an option of class comments, but you'll note for purposes of the examination, we'll have disabled the class comments. So from there, you can turn in the work by just clicking on turn in the work. Note that and very important, before I get there, it's very important to title your work. It's very important to give your documents a title. And I would propose that you give those documents a title based on the question you're answering. You can actually title each and every document question 1, question 2, question 3, or thereabout. But please make sure to title your document. It makes it easy for the lecturer. So you turn in your work. I take it that I've titled the document, and you turn in. So once you turn in, the lecturer is able to see your work already. You finished with the exam, and you've also done a private comment to the lecturer that the lecturer can see. So that is how you take the examination. And I've given you two forms of an examination. An examination where there is a Word document and the lecturer requires you that you do on a different on a different document and attach those documents to the Google Classroom. And also I've given you the quiz where you just select the answers, fill in the blanks and submit. And majorly, those are the two forms of examination that most of the lecturers will be using. So before I stop for questions, I need to also demonstrate to you how to change. You need to know how to add your email and how to add the phone numbers to your email. That one will assist you when you want to reset your own password. Also for two-level authentications for security, now that you note that now this account also has your examination. So you don't want somebody to log in just by the virtue that they have your password or your password has been compromised. So to do that, just on a blank tab, you can just do quickly my account .navigating.google.com. Then from there, you go to security, because really this is the security of the account. Once you scroll down, you're able to see where you can add a recovery phone and a recovery email. This one allows you to reset your own passwords and to manage your own passwords and to also change anytime that you feel that your account may be compromised. Then, of course, there is the two-step verification. This one is so that by somebody just having your password is not able to join in. And when logging into your account, a code is sent to your email and also to your phone, whichever, or to both, so that you're able to log in and secure your account. That being said, I will stop there, and then from there we can have an interactive session. So all what I'll do, I'll stop sharing for the time being, and then I will allow you to unmute yourself, of course, in a coordinated way, so that I'm able to take the questions. So any questions, the floor is open. Just raise your hand, then we can allow you to unmute yourself. I'm waiting for the questions. I already see a question on how to scan the answers, and what I would recommend on scanning, on your phones, there are various scanning apps. Like if I check my phone, I can see I have a scanner app, a Genius Scan, Easy Scanner, Tiny Scanner. All those are scans that you can use to scan the examination. Look for those, whatever phone you're using, look for those scanners that you can use. Alternatively, if you're not able to scan, you can just take a photo of the work that you have done and then attach the photo. That is also, the lecturer will also allow for that. So I'm waiting for any other exam. You can also type on chat, any other exam. Somebody is asking whether biometric registration is still open. Yes, it's still open, and at the school level. Yes. Martin Atieno, you can unmute yourself after the person who is speaking. Makulin Atieno.
Thank you so much for
yes.
Thank you so much, Patricia, for the update. I wanted to find out how do we manage the time? Because you might find people's computers or laptops have different times. So how is that sorted, especially when an exam is timed? So for example, if you're supposed to submit at 9:30 and my 9:30 is 5 minutes ahead or 5 minutes behind, so how is that worked on?
Thanks. That's relevant. Maybe the very first thing I would advise, have your timing on your device set to the correct time. That is 1. 2. Even if your device is not set to the correct time and you submit after 2 hours of the examination, your lecturer will have your examination before the due time. But note that that will also confuse you because you may not be able to know that I've already taken 2 hours. Mostly we are not used to checking the minutes from when you started to when you end. We are used to checking that I started at 11, I should end at 1, and it's now 12:30, and you know that you have 30 minutes. Note that even in the instructions, the lecturers, they add you about some few minutes, 30 minutes, for purposes of the work that you do, that it's outside the exam, like taking the photos of those exams that you've done and uploading them. So I hope that is clear for Macolin. And Samuel Mwaura, we can have your question.
My question is regarding the rule for having the cameras on. My device lacks a working camera. Please advise.
Maura, may I ask what device you're using?
Laptop.
There are even those who use desktop computers, and there are devices available, that is microphone and camera, a webcam, that go for about maybe 1,000. It's something that you would consider where possible. If it's not possible, then such a sentiment you'd have to raise with the person, with the lecturer who is taking that particular unit. But in most cases, you're required to be on camera, and it's very important to join that camera session, because that is where you get most of the instructions. That is where the lecturer is always monitoring that chat. In case you have a problem, you can raise the problem with the lecturer. That is where the lecturers make announcement during the examination. Assuming that there is an exam, there is some error, it could be there on an exam, or there is some clarification that they need to do on an exam. So that is the avenue that you use for that communication. It's an interactive session between you and the lecturer, and it can be to your advantage. It can also be to the lecturers. It's an interactive session, just the way that during a normal class the lecturer is able to talk to you where necessary during the examination. Purity, yes, they are proctors, and really that is on our side. You really not need have that information as a student. So if Angela, please continue.
My question is, in the incident where you are in the midst of doing an exam and then the powers are off, how will that be catered?
Yes, there are the regulations set for online exams, and that is information that you will be given by the lecturers on how you handle the scenario in the event that you lose power, maybe you lose network. It's there are regulations there is a policy for that guides that, and that you'll be notified by the lecturer. And you note the beauty with the most of these Google Docs exam, up to where you'll have done, it is backed up. It is saved. At least we can see your progress level up to that time. There are some lecturers who will give you that instructions on even maybe at the moment alternate ways of submission, but that one is totally dependent on the lecturer who is taking that examination. I'm sure they also even share their phone numbers during the examination, or channels to use during the other channels to use for communication during the examinations. So the other channels that you can use to communicate to the lecturer, and those ones the lecturer will make them clear.
My second question.
Yes.
If you want to draw, like in a word, could you demonstrate, please, if you can draw like a circuit in physics or something, how to draw?
This is Angela. Right now, it would be hard for me to take you through a training on drawing on computer apps. And that is why we have allowed you that you can actually draw on a paper and take a photo. If you're not conversant with it right now, it's a training that we can have, but if you're not conversant with it right now, then just use a paper for now. But for people who are conversant and they would take it that the time will be for them, you note that it also takes time. It's not like paper. Then you can use it. It's a personal choice. You can draw on an app and upload, or you can draw on a paper, take a photo or scan and upload.
Okay, thank you.
So if we don't have any other question, I'll take it that you're now conversant. I can see another question. What happens to units which are not in the classroom? Is there any other platform which they will use apart from this Google Classroom? Yes.
Patricia, maybe
Yes.
I can answer that.
Yes.
There is the SOMAs. There's a SOMAs application which they will be using, and they'll be having a training on it. It was scheduled for tomorrow 11. I'll confirm that by the end of this training and give them a feedback.
Yes, I think I have some information on that. That training will be on Tuesday at a time that we'll announce later. Yes,
Okay.
next week on Tuesday.
Okay.
So for the summers, majorly for School of Computing, it's a Google Classroom, and there are some lecturers who are also using SOMAS. And you'll be made aware of what platform is expected to be used in that particular examination on time before the examination. So with this now, I take it that you're able to create a Google account and configure that account. You're able to switch your accounts between the various Google accounts that you have. You're able to join a class either by code or link or by just accepting an invite. You can join a video meeting during the exam. It's just the normal video meetings, the video calls that you've been having for your lectures. You're able to view assigned works. The assigned work, you're able to navigate between different units, and you're able to take the exam and turn in the exam. So if you're comfortable with that, then you're ready to do the examination. There's somebody who is asking whether they'll have their devices, video and audio on during the examination. Yes, especially for the video. Of course, for the audio, we'll have mute all of you so that to avoid distraction during the examination, not unless there is need for you to do audio, which is rare. So in that case, if you have a question on this, you can reach me through ICT support cbps@unbi.ac.ke. That is the email for trying to put it on chat. This is the email for all your ICT inquiries. Then I need to give you the link for this stream, and the link, that is the link. I've pasted it on chat. That is for your reference if need be. So you have our contacts on email for any inquiries after this, and the link in the event that you need to review what we have done today. So thank you very much, and I take it now back to Paul Kamau.
Thank you very much, Patricia. That was a very informative session. I believe for future reference, for those who may want to refer, you can use the link that has been provided. Just for information, the exams start on 18th of this month. You have the timetable. It was sent, I think, earlier this week. Then you'll be having course evaluation to be done before the end of the week. So please fill in the course evaluation and make sure you have registered for the courses. And finally, within the school, we prefer to use the university email. So any student without a university email, please make sure you create one so that you can get the link to the exams. Apart from that, I would wish you a good afternoon and enjoy your time here. Those having problems with the internet connection, I believe the lab is open. It will be open for the next 2 weeks. You can always come, make arrangements with the technical team on how you're going to do your exam. Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Kamau.
Yes.
Yeah, like there are some people who have contacted me. They're asking about registration, exam registration, like course registration, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So could you like maybe answer your email so